No, I don't get it. Where does that suddenly pop up in your mind? Hello everyone, it is me, LightFeather, and in this video I will tell you some things that I do not understand and why. They may sound a bit like a rant, but they're actually really things that I do not understand. Okay, so first off, and this might be a relatable one, if I ask someone how their day was, and they explain and summarize their entire day. Like, for example, I ask, hey, how was your day? And they answer, good. At first I had a sandwich, and in the afternoon I had another sandwich, and the printer ran out of ink, and I walked to the supermarket, and I did not say, hey, could you please summarize your entire day for me? So I don't understand why they do that. I expect an answer to be like, good, bad, or wow, amazing, and amazing or bad are the reasons I'm gonna ask why. But if it's just good, and then you explain your whole day, why? Because this is not at all an interesting story. It's not interesting to hear for me, and it's not interesting for the person who tells the story to actually tell the story. At least, I feel like that's not really something interesting to do. So why would you? Because the moment you are actually going to explain and summarize your entire day, I expect a story to go like this. Oh yeah, it was a good day because I went to the printer today. Okay, yeah, so there's going to happen something with the printer, alright. And I walked over to the printer, and I looked inside of it. Oh, there was something interesting inside of the printer. Okay, let me hear that. And there was no ink anymore, so I had to get new one. Oh, on the way to get new one, they found, like, something really interesting. Okay, let me hear that. So I walked into the cupboard. Ooh, what was in the cupboard? Tell me! And I walked over to the stash of extra ink. And what was inside of it? And I got new ink. Okay. And when I walked back to the printer to put it in, yes, I did, and I could print again. No! No one wants to hear every step you have taken a day. If someone asks me how my day was, I just answer with fine or something. That's not because something was bad and I don't want to talk about it. It's simply because nothing interesting happened that day, and no one would want to hear that story because it is not interesting. So please, if someone asks you how your day was and your story isn't even remotely interesting to other people because it's all generic stuff that you do every day, don't summarize your entire day because it's not interesting to tell, I can imagine, and it is even less interesting to listen to. And yes, I just don't understand why people do that, because I feel like everybody understands that no one really wants to hear the stuff about how you went to the supermarket or shit like that. Racism, sexism, and homophobia. I do not understand any of these. I know what they are, I know the whole principle of them, but why would you be racist, homophobic, or sexist? Because let's take racism. You are actually judging people by their color. I don't understand why. Because this is like the same thing as saying, I don't want to eat a banana because it's yellow. That's dumb. Why would you ever look at someone and be like, oh, their skin color has a different color than mine. That means they are not good or something. I don't get that. Same goes for sexism. Because in my opinion, sexists are like, okay, so almost every species in this entire world consists of two genders. So do our species, the humans. But it's obviously true that one sex of the two is better than the other one, which would make half of our entire species inferior to the other one because logics. I don't understand this as well. Like, you need both genders in order to make new humans. Like, how in your mind are you like, yeah, I'm probably sure that one gender is better than the other. That's logical. No, I don't get it. Where does that suddenly pop up in your mind? I don't understand where all of those ideas come from. And same goes for homophobia. Homophobia is just super weird, and I don't get it because homosexual people just appear naturally, just like heterosexual people. Only they're more heterosexual people than homosexual people. And I don't get why you're like, oh, that's not good, or you shouldn't do that because I don't want that. It would be the same if I were to yell at a heterosexual couple like, hey, dude, hey, I personally don't like your girlfriend. That obviously means that you aren't allowed to like her as well. Stop loving. How are you like that? It doesn't affect you whatsoever. So I don't understand why people really take offense out of that. Like I say, of course, I'm fully against it, so in that way it is kind of a rant, but it is not meant to be a rant. It is legitimately something I do not understand, but maybe I'm just too autistic to get all of those things. Maybe everything I've mentioned so far is like super logical and I'm just too dumb to get it. And lastly, nightclubs. You know those party clubs where everybody's like, I don't get that. Why would I pay money to go into a room, which is obviously way too hot in there because there are a lot of people, and just do with a lot of other people to loud music? And maybe I'm sounding like this old guy, everything now is bad. But I think that music is way too loud, and I don't understand why it needs to be that loud. Because I want to have a conversation with someone. And I can't do that when I'm in one of those things. And occasionally I have to go somewhere because it's like a school thing and it has to be inside of one of those party clubs, which I hate. The only thing in there I find even remotely funny is when I talk with my normal voice volume to someone and just say random shit to them. Because often when they don't understand you, they're just gonna be like, yeah. So those are the things I do not understand, but maybe I'm just too dumb to get those. What about you? Do you understand these things? Can you clarify some of those things to me? Because those things really make no sense at all to me. What are some things that you don't understand? Please let me know down below in the comments, because I'm really interested in always hearing your input on everything. And if you're new here, I would love to have you subscribe to this channel. I post stories or opinions or whatever like that. On Saturday and on Wednesday, I post sketches or sometimes cinematics. All of that to let people know that it's awesome and okay to be yourself and to be unique, and that you shouldn't change yourself for others because you are perfect the way you are. So again, thank you so much for watching, and like I always say, just be unique, you're awesome the way you are.